Hello, I'm Bo Billingsley. You might know me as Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop, or the Fourth Raikage in Naruto, or Barrett from Final Fantasy Advent Children. Welcome to Blerdcon 2019. You are watching Source U, your source for entertainment.
Source You, Sergio here, and we are live at Blerdcon, and I am actually standing next to a fellow YouTuber who does Baltimore VR, and you are...
Michael Miller.
Mike Miller is an amazing guy. We've been actually walking around for the past 3-4 hours now.
Oh, yeah.
Talking and chatting about different things about cons and animes and other things outside of such. We actually...
Cosplay. Oh, love the cosplay.
Super amazing. And we also found out that we have a few things in common. Like, for instance, this man can sing. And I like to butcher songs.
Oh, God. You know how much I do love you. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 1,000 girls' panties just dropped to the floor.
Hell no.
I believe they did. We also been talking about our field of expertise. Come to find out, we both work in a very prominent field of IT.
Oh, yeah. I love it so much.
And we both get the same feel from that field, and that is when one person's doing all the work, everybody else is doing
nothing.
Is what it is. But so far, this is your first Blerdcon, yes?
Yes, absolutely. My first Blerdcon. My brother Greg that you just saw, he talked us into seeing it, and we just wanted to support the community over here that wanted to, shine a light on what we're doing or what we like, and also share it with other people of other cultures and races. And that's what's really important to me.
And that right there is an amazing, amazing thing about Blerdcon that I've learned over the past, which now this makes 3 years. And that's exactly what this con is for. Everybody to actually come together as a community. Never mind all the cliques and all that stuff. Just come together as single, like-minded individuals enjoying the same thing together. And that right there is awesome.
Very important. Very important. We don't need cliques. We just need to stay together. Because, if you don't hang together, you will definitely hang separately.
And that's actually true for a lot of things in life, right?
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. Trust an old guy here.
And first of all, he's not as old as he's making it sound. He's playing with your emotions. He's playing with your emotions with that line. But I actually want to hear more about this Baltimore VR thing, actually.
Well, I'm trying to make more images or more VR content so it's immersive for people to enjoy the environments that are there. Not just, people try to just put a VR camera in a spot, but you don't see people recording movies like that. Why would you do that? It's no different, right?
No different at all.
So I'm just trying to steadily make different content so that I can show how VR works and that it is a viable future in it. So I hope you will be able to watch it. You'll take the time to watch it and let it grow on you. Let VR grow on you. Also, to enjoy certain things like this, like Blerdcon, and also the finer things in life that I do another channel on, expensive things. Now, maybe you don't have the money for it or anything, but motivation is everything. So if, a nice hotel to visit will get your mind there, let me help you out. Being on a first class flight, I'll get you there. Just to make you feel like you're there and that maybe one day you can do the same thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting everywhere.
You know what, though? You know what? So what you said, I'm going to say 2 things resonated with me. One, the fact that you said that you need to be able to actually have self-motivation. Right. And that's something that I feel like a lot of our people, and by our people, I mean nerds,
right,
are having a hard time holding on to nowadays. Like,
right.
And it's hard to stay motivated in a world where there's so much negativity.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yes.
But honestly, I feel like that, and then you trying to take people on a trip to kind of take their mind there, and if they take their mind there, hopefully you take their body there.
Right.
I think that's actually amazing.
Right.
So
and focus on what's important. You know, and sometimes, you know, throw things in a different direction. Like recently, I don't know if you saw on CNN, but some guy was talking down about black people. And what is his name? Don Lemon and this other dude. I forget his name. But what they did was they started laughing, you know. But what are you talking about? We're smart. We work hard just like you. And we're all equal. We do this. Let's work together. I know for sure because I have all of you in my family. Asians, blacks, whites, Hispanics. And we were doing it before it was cool. So, hey.
And see, and right there, a lot of people you just mentioned, all people of color, all people who make way more money than I do, probably way more money than you do.
Some, yep.
And here we are once again. This is why I stopped watching the news, people, because every time I turn on news, there's nothing but negativity. Somebody's got to talk down on somebody about something. The news is a sham.
Yeah. And that's what I also want to bring out there is something positive, like I said. And, you know, just something to relax you. You know, something to very much relax you. And I'm hoping to do the yacht show that's coming up in October. And I want to do the Comic-Con with you guys. Hopefully we can enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely try to make sure we try to go to Comic-Con this year. Because we skipped, like I said, we skipped last year. So we're going to try to get in there this year at least. Try to get 1 or 2 more cons in before the year. And since Comic-Con is usually a cheap one for us, it's only like $20 for one day. Right. So, whatever. But we'll definitely try to meet you down there.
Right. You just let me know. I'll be there.
Awesome. And then the only positive news that I know of recently, if you guys are in the Baltimore area, I'm pretty sure you should have heard this name by now. The Plainest Jane, she does a radio talk show called In the News. Check that out if you actually want to hear some positive. She's also a YouTuber. She does beauty tips, but she's doing news to actually better our community. So there you go.
Yeah. Is it more of a podcast?
It is.
Maybe I got to get her on a video, huh?
We actually had her on an interview once, and she's asking to come back again. So, hey, check us out and might get to see it.
You know what? Let's just do a video cast with her. Let her broadcast that on YouTube every day. If we're going to do something positive, let's put her on. And
there you go, Candy Ball. That being said, my phone is dinging, so I think everybody else is being petty right now because they realize I've already started recording without them. Yeah. We're going to cut this interview short so I can answer some messages. Okay. But hopefully, man, enjoy the rest of the con. If you're sticking with me today, I'll definitely show you some tricks. But if you're about to go off and do your own thing, definitely hit me up later. You can hit us up through the source shoe information I gave you earlier, or, you know, find me separately. I use my actual Source Shoe tag on my name, so it's Source Shoe Surge on Facebook. But with that being said, we usually close out all of our interviews with one thing. We usually say Source Shoe out. So on a count of 3.
All
right. 1, 2, 3. Source Shoe out. Thanks for the time, man. Love it. Here at Blerdcon doing interviews, and standing next to me is...
I am Blue Lantern Flash.
And I gotta say, that is the most boss concept that I have ever seen. Guy Gardner's helmet. Nobody ever does Guy Gardner anything.
Jay Garrett. It's actually Jay Garrett.
Oh, you're right. It is Jay Garrett. I said Guy Gardner because my head is somewhere else right now. But anyway.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But yes, this is in fact Jay Garrett's helmet. This costume is actually a concept design that I've been working on and sort of conceptualizing since I was a little kid. The Flash, this isn't just the cosplay for me. This is who I am. This is my true form. Like, I have been known by the nickname The Flash since I was 4 years old. I raced an adult, and I'm pretty sure he let me win, but it was a friend's parent, and they gave me my first Flash comic and said, "You're like The Flash," and I had no idea who that was, but that comic set me on my journey. I've been following The Flash, you know, since I was a kid, you know, and I ran track all through my entire life. I was always the fastest person on the team, so the nickname stuck, carried, and I made my first suit a few years back. It was based on the CW Flash, actually. Really? Yeah, and I was in the military at the time. I was actually in the middle of the ocean on deployment, and I shelled out the money and had it designed, and I went to San Diego Comic-Con with it, and it was a lot of fun. But this suit is the culmination of years of legacy of reading Flash comics and coming to fall in love with all these characters and see them grow and change, you know, die and come back to life, all sorts of stuff. I've been there for almost every single Flash adventure. I've even read the ones that came before I was born, all the stuff. I pretty much know almost everything there is to know about the Flash. So.
Oh, man. So this truly is who you are. So my question is, well, before I get into this other question I have, the first question is this your final form, though?
See, that's to be debated. You have to wait and see. This is definitely not going to be my last suit. This is definitely not going to be my last suit. So we'll have to see.
Okay. I like that answer. That means that hopefully next year, Blerdcon, I get to see something new from you then. I'm hoping. So my second question is this. I'm pretty sure you've been reading up on the current DC stuff, yes?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually currently reading the Doomsday Clock event, and it's pretty mind-blowing, to be honest with you.
I actually need to start reading that one after I finish catching up on this one, because I got to ask somebody else's opinion about this. What do you think of the current happenings in the Safe Haven event?
I'm actually not familiar with the Safe Haven event. There's so much going on with like just different major events that I'm finding that I can't keep up with everything. Like there's events that I hadn't even known were happening right now, and they're like 5-6 issues in. Could you actually inform me on Safe Haven?
Sure thing. So Safe Haven event right now, and just so you know, I'm the same as you. My go-to right now when that happens is Comic Storian on YouTube. That's my guy. There's your free population shout out. You got one. Shoot out, source you later. We deserve that. Anyway, look at me try to shamelessly plug and promote people.
I know comics. I'm familiar with Comic Storian.
Awesome. So, to throw it in summary, Safe Haven apparently is a place that the Justice League put together for superheroes to go to and deal with their PTSD issues, which is super awesome. Because it more humanizes DC for once, which is something that I've always thought DC was lacking over the years for certain people. This actually makes it across the board, makes it so that they're all humanized. In the event, somebody goes and wrecks the shit out of every hero in Haven. The only two people left alive, Booster Gold, Harley Quinn. Harley, who wasn't supposed to be there, she was there visiting Ivy, and Booster, who was there dealing with his issues. The mystery goes on that nobody's sure who's the one who killed him, and both of them said, "I saw you kill everybody." Little does anybody realize that apparently it was indeed our boy, Kid Flash, who caused the incident to happen because he was trying to reverse time to figure out how to stop somebody else from dying, because he just went through that whole thing where he just finally got pulled back from time and just joined the Titans. He was like, life went on without me. And he's like, I'm trying not to kill everybody, but at the same time, I'm trying to die. And that's where I left off. I don't know what's happened since then, but it's pretty ballsy.
Actually, I'm glad you brought this up because I actually am familiar with that event. That's Heroes in Crisis. Yes. And I actually have been keeping up on that. I'm actually a psychology major. So this event is huge for me because, like you just said, the concept of heroes having mental disorders and having to deal with their trauma has almost never been explored or touched on in comics. What happens at the end of the day when you are jumping through time, through different dimensions, fighting demons and creatures and aliens? Like, you're a human being, you were a normal human before, then suddenly you got superpowers. Now you're fighting aliens. It's like we don't think about like what that would do to a normal person when they're literally constantly saving people's lives, even when they fail, especially when they fail. When we can't save everyone, how does that affect the superheroes? Heroes in Crisis is doing an excellent job of exploring that. However, there's been a huge controversy because of the thing with Wally West being, like, people are saying it's character assassination because Wally West would never do that. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that, if he did it or not. I'm interested to find out because Wally West just came back. They've just brought him back to life, and he's the fan favorite. And now it seems like they're, like, just making him go off in this weird direction where it doesn't seem like it fits his character. But there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot going on, and actually the Heroes in Crisis event sort of tying into the Doomsday Clock event too. There's a little bit of an overlap there, so I'm definitely trying to see where these events end. We have to wait for those last issues to come out and see how this all ends.
Yeah, which means now I definitely need to catch up on Doomsday Clock event, because if they're overlapping each other, I definitely have to see how this is all tying in. And first of all, I have to shake your hand. This is the first time we've actually had a psychiatrist on the show.
Oh, no. not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. A psychology major. I'm still in school. I'm not certified in anything at all.
Listen, if you're in the field and you're still in the field, you're pretty much there to me. So don't worry, I'll be coming to see your offices soon. Mostly just to drop off donuts.
Sounds good.
But this definitely does pose interesting questions. And honestly, a lot of people are arguing back and forth about it. In my honest opinion, I could see it being a real thing. Because you have to think, you've been stuck going through time rift after time rift after time rift. You're already mentally screwed up when you finally come home. But then to come home and realize that things moved on without you, that's a really hard sell. That's like people who go to jail when they realize that certain loved ones have moved on without them and they haven't heard from them forever, and it happens. It does mess you up mentally, and those are usually the ones who end up committing suicide when they get out or doing something to go back in because they don't feel like they belong out here with us anymore. It's really messed up to say that, but that's the mental state. And honestly, I see that.
I agree. And here's the other thing that people, I don't think, maybe they didn't catch this with Wally West coming back, or they didn't catch on to this in Heroes in Crisis, but I wanted to touch on that. Wally West coming back, you're absolutely right. He's in a completely different universe that has all the same people that he knows and remembers and loves, but they don't remember him. He runs up on his wife, Linda, and he's like, he appears out of the Speed Force and like, we're supposed to be together. And she's like, I don't know you. And it's like, that was heartbreaking. And then there's the fact that he's from the pre-New 52 universe where he had twins. It was wiped out. He had twins. He had 2 kids. One of the most heartbreaking panels I think I read was in Flash War. And this is right before Heroes in Crisis, and it deals with Wally West mentally breaking down. He literally is running nonstop around the world trying to find his kids. And like he finally stops and he breaks down. And it's the most heartbreaking thing to read because his kids are gone. These are his children who wouldn't do anything possible to get their kids back. And he just breaks down. He's like, my kids, I can't find my kids. I can't find my kids. And it's just so heartbreaking. And to see that and to know that he has, they're going that route with the mental disorder, I actually do kind of see where they're kind of going with it, where maybe he snapped. But I haven't finished the event, and the event's not over yet, so we gotta wait and see.
Yeah, but at least, see, even with all that extra information, I should have read Flash Wars. I didn't read Flash Wars. I need to read that one now. But with those events tying in, this all actually makes sense to me. It makes sense. Like you could say it's character assassination all you want, but it's realism.
It is.
In me, and I think so. But we got a pack of people surrounding us now. You got an audience, see?
I kind of noticed people showing up. It's cool.
Awesome. Now, do you want to take a moment, let people bask in your glow, tell them where they can follow you?
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram, SLC_Dracula42. Dracula spelled with a K. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Honestly, if you type in Dracula42 with a K, you'll find me. It's real easy.
Awesome. Anything else you want to shout out?
I just hope everyone's having a good con. I really hope everyone's having a good time. I am. This is the best con I've ever been to. Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you for your time and a little thing we love to do here. So at the end of the video, we like to yell, source you out.
Source you out?
All right. On 3.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Source you out. Awesome. Thanks, man. Oh, man.